Good evening to all the respected panelists, principals, educators, students, parents, and members from all across the world. Thank you for joining today. I, Chetan Khurana, co founder of Skills Reform, would like to welcome you all to this unique forum where we integrate the academia with industry and come up with ideas and solutions on how to bridge skills gap and cope up with the future trends. So in today's webinar, we would be focusing on coalition of STEM, sustainability and innovation. This webinar is curated exclusively for you by the team of Skills Reform in collaboration with Association of Indian Principals. Skills Reform as an organization is building sustainable ecosystem for augmentation of individuals and organization that is aligned with global industry needs. A preferred choice of individuals for choosing the best fit career and grooming the existing talents, helping our nation build a strong workforce for tomorrow. I would request the backend team to run a small video about skills reform, please. Thank you so much. This is in collaboration with Association of Indian Principals, non-profit organizations aim to build a forum of India's education leaders to help develop collective thought leadership in order to strengthen the education ecosystem in India, continuously facilitating world-class training opportunity for its members to support career advancements and making representations to the government and academic authority at the highest levels in India. In sync with the Sustainable Development Goals, the association intends to engage and impact over a million education leaders and stakeholders by 2030 through national, state, district chapters enabling participation primarily of education leaders from all levels. Let's look at a small video of AIP. May I request the team to run this, please? Thank you so much. Now, without further ado, let me invite our eminent panelists for today. I would like to welcome Dr. Vinod Kumar. Dr. Vinod Kumar, please. Dr. Vinod is a divisional head and deputy project director at Controls Dynamics Design Group, UR Rao Satellite Center, which is called as URSC in Bangalore. He is also an executive secretary at Astronomical Society of India. He has developed a fault detection, isolation, and reconfiguration techniques for geosatellites, which has become the backbone of ISRO's fleet of spacecraft, including Mars Orbiter mission. He has been awarded ISRO Team Excellence Award in 2006 by His Excellency, former President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Azad, for his orbit management and spacecraft operations. Dr. Vinod is an alumnus of Indian Institute of Technology. We are delighted to have you here, sir.
Yeah, very good evening, all. And really, it is an honor to be a part of such a organization. Especially, I am honored to be called as a panelist here. It's honor to be a part of such discussion, which is going non-profit work. We are really pleased, and thank you. We will certainly discuss your
Thank you, Dr.
agenda.
for coming in.
Thank you.
Next in
Thank you,
line,
sir.
let me welcome Mrs. Kavita Sanghvi. Ma'am, please.
Hello, it's an honor to be here, and I thank AIP and I thank Skills Reform for having me here.
She's heading SVKM CNM School in Mumbai. She's a Teach SDGs Ambassador, Climate Action Ambassador, and Scientix Ambassador for India. She's a British Council trainer and ambassador. Mrs. Kavita Sanghvi holds a master's in physics, master's in education, master's in philosophy of education, and CAEL, which is Certificate in Advanced Course in Educational Leadership, diploma from Harvard University. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome to the forum, please. Next in line, we have our third panelist from Dubai, Dr. Hina. Dr. Hina, please, if you could just show.
Namaskar from Abu Dhabi. It's always pleasure to interact with Ms. Chetna and Mr. Chetan, both of you on skill reforms at AIP platform. So I'm sure it's going to be great learning experience with all other very knowledgeable panelists here. Thank you.
Dr. Hina is a passionate educator and an experienced administrator. Ever since Dr. Hina was appointed as the youngest principal of one of the largest network of schools in India, roughly 15 years ago, she has brought transformational reforms in the school that she has managed. Dr. Hina is focused on holistic development of a child. She believes that the child has to excel in any field of his or her interest, in addition to be a good in studies. The results are visible. The schools and the students of her schools have been consistently winning prizes and awards in most of the competitions that they participate in. Receiver of UNO and Rajiv Gandhi Awards herself, Dr. Hina, also a sports and fitness enthusiast. Welcome, Dr. Hina, to the forum. We all know that STEM education has drawn considerable international attention in recent decades. So my first question is for Dr. Hina. Dr. Hina, what's your opinion on this change? Why so much of attention on STEM?
Evolution of STEM is a journey from, I would say, classroom learning to maker space. So though STEM was coined in the somewhere late 19th century, the action plans were visibly implemented at the end of Gen Z. And the impact is, of course, quite amazing while you compare the problem solving and critical thinking skills of the students of the 2 centuries or generations. The importance of the discipline is getting stronger every year when the schools focus on developing the 21st century skills of the students. And my opinion towards this change is quite encouraging as a head of the institution who focuses on smart work rather than hard work alone. And so why is STEM getting so much of attention? Because STEM moves beyond simple test performance and focuses on developing higher level order thinking skills. We call it HOTS, by connecting classroom learning to the real world. Now, no more the soap remains a soap. They know, oh, that is a potential bomb in the washing, so they connect it to the real world. And of course, it emphasizes on collaboration, communication, research, problem solving, critical thinking, and creativity. And hence, the skills that students would need to be successful in today's world, regardless of specific interest or career goals. And that is what STEM is, the direct response, I would say, to the realization that our nature of the future will be built on our capacity for innovation, for invention, for creativity, and problem solving. And this was realized, I must say, by the experts at the Rhode Island School, uh, who have been pioneers in integrating arts in STEM. And so now it is STEAM that has been, growing exponentially into a worldwide movement.
Thank you, Dr. Hina. That's what we as Skills Reform team is also doing, 21st century skill, implementing and imparting that education right from the early ages. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So when we talk about the innovation in STEM, we can see a lot has been done in space research in recent times. So my next question is for Dr. Vinod. Dr. Vinod, how the idea of Astronautical Society of India came to you? Please, if you can tell us more about it, the audience is curious to know about that.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Khurana. See, in fact, this idea of Astronomical Society of India is the brainchild of our former president, Sri Abdul Kalam Sahab and Dr. U.R. Rao. They founded it in 1990. But the main vision, any society are there, you have a vision and mission. The vision and mission of this society is promotion of astronautics in the country. And I really like the vision of the society that it wants to connect to the Indians last mile connectivity. As Dr. Hina was telling that STEM is very necessary, I will put it another way also. When some of the students, I'm from a village basically, so we used to study trigonometry, algebra, and this. So what people used to say when I'm in 9th, 10th, or 11th, mathematics in this thing was very strong. So when we are doing that, why I should read mathematics? What I will do with the chemistry? The question comes here. What I will do with this STEM? Mathematics, only this finding interest and like money computation and all. I don't know. You give me angle, I will tell you height of building and all such kind of thing we used to do. But now after joining ISRO, when we found that yes, practical application of this, that fun I will come later. But now since your question is related to Astronautical Society of India, so promotion of astronautics means connect to the people, tell what is astronautics, what it can do for you. So I really like the idea, and there was some discussion. Yeah, somebody is talking. Yeah, when we have liked it, we joined, certainly we joined it, and really it conducts a very nice program, like delivering talks. I added to this that we will conduct the workshop also. Not only workshop for the graduate and postgraduate students, but we will conduct this workshop for the students also, college students also. We will take it towards them because early ages, if you tune them to particular field, the outcome will be very large. So that is another step with space quizzes. When you see when quiz comes, questions are asked in such a way they are framed, the mind gets ignited. And we want really ignited minds in India. I was reading a book by Kalam Sahab that is Ignited Minds. What is that Ignited Minds? You see, it's a really nice book which defines that it fires your imagination. So when you have something and in your brain, when you have its mind, you have a thought in that, and that dream comes to thoughts, and then thoughts comes to the action. So this is the kind of thing when we learn from our ancestor who has been the institutional builder. So that is the another thing. And as far as Astronomical Society of India, we have a very nice website, asindia.org. If you want, I can put it here in the presentation mode so that people can see. If you have time.
Oh, sure, sir. So we will, in fact, we can put that in the chat also.
Okay, fine. So that's what. So since our aim is to spread the scientific education, STEM education, we apply it in day-to-day life. We apply it in space. We apply. We find the position of a satellite. We find the position of a star. We use all this cos, sine, all your even first law. Velocity is position divided by time. This is used in your GPS. Yeah, it's so amazing, you say, when you apply it in your practical thoughts, but okay, slightly complexity increases. So that's what Astronomical Society of India is about, and please participate in its activities. And I really, it's a wonderful thing. Skill reforms are carrying out such kind of activities for the benefit of the people so that it goes to the children. And I'm very happy to be a part of it.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vinod. Ignited minds is truly the need of an hour. If you build curiosity at early on, students will go places later on in their career, respective career. Thank you so much for your insights. Mrs. Kavita, I am very curious to know that with your expertise in STEM, what are the major challenges you see students face in pursuing this discipline?
First of all, over the years, what happens is we teach subjects in silos. So there's no integration or interdisciplinary approach that is really lacking in our classes. So therefore, whatever as Dr. Vinod Kumar said, they're not able to connect it to real life. So there's no connection. For example, let's take a simple example as painting a wall. So we have spoken about paints, we've spoken about pigments, emulsion, we've spoken about different types of paints, that is distemper, emulsion, metallics, textured, enamel. We've spoken about what paint is all about, that it is about pigments, solvents, resins, and various additives. We've spoken about there's a manufacturing process of paints. There is a mathematical process of applying paints. For example, if your entire floor is say by 4 meters, your wall is 4 meters to 6 meters. Then if you have a 24 square meter, then how much paint do you require to paint it? At least you need 2 coats. So we've not connected this across for any single concept or project. And that's what's one challenge is when they go into life, they do not know which concept to use where. Another challenge they find is the incentives to pursue STEM beyond engineering and mathematics. We give so much stress to engineering and mathematics, but when it comes to pure sciences, there is nothing that, if you go become a doctorate in physics, a doctorate in biology, this is what you're going to achieve. So right now, obviously, ISRO is coming and we are talking about it. But what are the steps across? If somebody can do some kind of a hand-holding for the students and tell them this is what can you achieve when you're going out of school. So this hand-holding and expert guidance, that is also a challenge where we get in these people to come to school level and talk to them. So these are the 3 basic challenges which I perceive and I see across.
True. I think it is a challenge for most of the schools. In tier 1 cities, it is still there is career guidance opportunity for students, but not in tier 2 and tier 3 at that level. STEM education environment plays a pivotal role in influencing the successful transitioning from manufacturing based economy to a innovation driven knowledge based sustainable economy also. Now let's go a little deeper in the topic and let me ask you, Dr. Vinod. So Dr. Vinod, the important question here comes is, as ISRO is one of the space organization that has made a mark on the world map. For students and whosoever wants to get into this particular field, especially the space engineering, what skills do you think a student must master or for that matter must possess to join this league?
Yeah, it's a very nice and relevant question. So as it matches with STEM, so what is this? You should be best in your subject. Whatever you are doing, first you should convince yourself and work for it. So when you take up a subject, dream about it, put thoughts and put it into action. So these are the 3 steps which I suggest that all the students should learn from beginning. Whatever you read the book, think about it, the chapter, what you have learned today. And you will really become expert. And ISRO is looking for experts in their fields. Means it can be physics, it can be chemistry, it can be mathematics, it can be engineering branches, like mechanical engineering, electrical, electronics, computer, you name it. We have the job and opportunities for them. In ISRO, we carry out three kind of recruitments. One of the recruitment is through ICRB, ISRO Centralized Recruitment Board, where the advertisement goes in the national newspapers and applications are called. Every details are given there. You can see that. The second is going directly to the colleges. The third is from Indian Institute of Space Science and Technology. We have opened recently, maybe 2011-12, that time frame. And that is giving a very good products. So we take from there. So you can get into the IIST by giving the exams as you give for IITs. So it is the same way. The process is similar. The ranking is taken from there. It is a part of that. So in addition to this, if you have a passion, you missed during your career from post-graduation and you went and you did PhD, directly your application can be sent to the chairman ISRO, director of the center, and PhDs with their thesis, and certainly they will be called, the thesis will be looked into. So expertise from beginning in your subject, and you should have dedication towards your subject, and certainly ISRO is there to support you.
Truly, sir. So read thorough, think, and put it in the action.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vinod. Looking at the trends, when the world is paying attention to SDG, Sustainable Development Goals, Dr. Kavita, in your opinion, how sustainability in STEM can accelerate the growth of a country, especially in education?
So first of all, when you allow both girls and boys opportunities in STEM in school level, you're allowing them opportunity in the workplace also, and you're closing the gender gap. And at present, women in STEM is very less number compared to men. So that is how sustainability can accelerate the growth. Second, also, we have seen that STEM education is effective in improving a lot of skills, as Dr. Hina has already spoken about. And these attitudes, all these achievements, motivations, if they keep on increasing, it increases your economy of the country because people are going to work harder. And STEM jobs are the future, because it is said that by 2028, STEM jobs are going to increase by 8%, while non-STEM jobs are going to increase only at 5%. So you know that if people go into more for STEM jobs, especially from our country, the economy is going to go very, very high. Also, STEM offers a lot of opportunities for teamwork, because whenever we do a project or any model or anything, you require a team to come together. And that team means there's a lot of collaboration happening. And this brings across a large and diverse kind of things, people coming in. So these diverse perspectives are taken into consideration, opinions matter, all these kind of things support kind of equity in our class and inclusiveness. So especially, and all this already you've seen that when we have any kind of robot building or engineering building or anything across, people come together and work together, brainstorm together. So this is how we can bring across more kind of equity opportunities in our STEM.
Truly, Dr. Kavita, social equity and inclusiveness is the need of the hour, and all the organizations are looking at it just to boost the economy and give the parity to each one of us. Thank you so much. So Dr. Hina, I was just going through your profile, and as you believe that a child has to excel in any field of his or her own interest and passion. Being in a country that boasts of innovation in every field, How do you think an education leader like you must nurture the spark in the students? Like Dr. Vinod also said, igniting minds and building curiosity. How do you do that?
Wonderful. Well, yes, indeed, we are very proud, indeed, to call ourselves as innovators, not just in the field of education, but in all aspects. Like the spark of innovation, I would say, begins at schools in UA. Like I believe that innovation happens through curiosity and questioning, and hence, you'll be very glad to know that Dr. Vinod would also endorse this. And Ms. Kavita, that we and school, we have this month of curiosity, which starts on, we just launch it in the month of November 14, when Children's Day, and it culminates when February UAE celebrates the innovation month, so we culminate there. And ideation walls are across in our, when you enter the campus, there are ideation walls where children are free. So basically we believe that it is not that just Sir Isaac Newton who might have thought that about the falling apple, but he was the one to ask, and who was curious to know why, and which gave to birth to the, of course, the famous law of gravitation. Similarly, as educators, we encourage the questioning skills: why, how, what, into our students. Why water is colorless? Why do crabs move sideways? Or what causes tides? So do aliens exist? And many such more questions. So this is how we ignite innovative skills right from the early age through questioning. The children will develop, because questioning is education. That is, they develop curiosity, and that is how we have a program called Kutuhal. That is also an award-winning program we have. The name itself, Kutuhal, means curiosity, where they learn through research, books, teachers, friends, in fact, surrounding everywhere. So the implementation of STEM doesn't happen, as Ma'am Kavita was also mentioning about, that it has to be very integrated approach. And it starts right at the KG level with the kinesthetic activities along with Montessori. STEM has to be integrated. It's not something we actually have to demystify, because it could be formation, identification of shapes. Now, shape, when the child is born, the mother's face is a geometry for him. So we cannot, disintegrate STEM from our very regular life combination of colors or basic scientific reasoning, etc. And, B boards at a very basic level for KG. And in middle school, we can go to maker space and converting that into real life situations. And coding is introduced at middle school to collaborate with real life situations. And finally, so we have that master's program, where the final master's program talks about 21st century skills. So this is how it is weaved into a program. And just further to, last thing I would like to add, when Ma'am Kavita was talking about women, so we have wings also, women inspired in STEMs kind of a curriculum. Thank you.
That's very interesting to know, Dr. Hina. Um, so, taking it on little lighter note, we would be keen to know from Dr. Kavita now. Dr. Kavita, any anecdote that you would like to share about your career, life, or education with our viewers today?
Yes, I would like to share that about 2 years back, I was doing my Harvard course for driving for change. And they asked a question, and I thought I understood the question very well, and I answered it very well. And I'd sent my written assignment. And when my response came back, I got zero. So I was totally shocked. I said, oh, how did I get zero completely? And it was like, I felt so low. And then I obviously spoke to my facilitator and I said, what happened? Where did I go wrong? And he said, you misunderstood the question completely. And then I realized it's okay to ask questions. It's okay to fail. I mean, you need to also understand what are the expectations of you also when something comes along your way. So this is something, again, when you fail, you realize what your student also is experiencing it when they get the report card, which is, not good enough. So yeah, this is a couple of learning which I recently had, and it was a good experience.
Thank you, Dr. Kavita, for sharing this. Um, Dr. Hina, I think your guidance to students, as we have been discussing, have shown impeccable results. Here also, I think a lot of students and the parents are keen to know What is your inspiration in the field of STEM, and how one should think about pursuing careers in STEM?
Indeed, like in fact, as you say that, and what we have been discussing is that STEM is important because it pervades in every part of our lives. You can't disintegrate it, and because science is everywhere in the world around us, technology is continuously expanding into every aspect of our lives. Like engineering would be like basic design of roads and bridges, but also tackles the challenge of changing the global weather or environmental friendly changes to our home. Mathematics, as I said, geometry, as you are born and it is there. So in every occupation, every activity we do in our lives, budgeting in home, so that is also mathematics, isn't it? So it should start from there. So by exposing students to STEM and giving them opportunities to explore STEM related concepts, they will develop a passion for it. Basically, we want to just give exposure, and finally they need to find out their aptitude and their attitude, where they would then pursue that as a job in a STEM field. So a curriculum that is STEM based has got real life situation to help the students learn, and programs like engineering for kids integrate multiple classes to provide opportunities to see how concepts relate to life, in order to hopefully spark a passion for future career. So STEAM education, I would say, is, of course everybody agrees to that, is an emerging pedagogy that combines the once siloed subjects, they were into silos now, of science, technology, engineering, art and math, into one integrated system. And that is what STEM and or STEAM rather to say. So given the challenges of preparing students for what is to come, we do not know what future holds in store, right? So as we were talking about 8% rise in this particular career. So why STEAM education is so important? Because it would prepare our kids, essential to prepare our kids for the fourth industrial revolution. We talk about 4.0. So though we do not know, we cannot know right now what some jobs of the future will look like. It makes sense to educate our children with the skills and capacity to think outside the box, or now I would say no box. Where is the box? They have to not think outside the box. They have to question where is the box. And this is what something the STEAM education can effectively prepare them to do so.
Interesting thoughts, Dr. Hina. I was just thinking about it, conventional roadmaps to get into STEM and then STEAM, liberal education, interdisciplinary, project-based learning. I think this is the future, and these are the things that the students should start picking up as early as they can in their lives, just to be successful in the respective career that they are choosing to. Thank you so much. Dr. Vinod, now you can integrate it very well, with your experience in industry and academia, which is the most memorable part of your journey so far. How do you think teachers should motivate learners to think beyond engineering, like Dr. Hina was saying, and then embracing research and development?
Yeah, it's very good adapt question. So actually, when everyone has a thinking, right? But you have to channelize it in proper direction. I'm very happy to see that what today at Republic Day beating the retreat student of IIT Delhi startup is doing. You see 1,000 drones in formation. That's the real. When you are studying, you conceptualize. They use STEM in that. See, we also do. When I joined ISRO way back in 97, we had failure in one of the satellite. 99 it was launched, and 2000, I'll put it up simply, eyes of the satellite failed. They are no more working. Now it has to work on gyroscopes. Gyroscopes has inherent drift. Now how to do that? I was just 2 years old in ISRO And now you see that I'm seeing how scientists, all scientists came, they were discussing this, what to do. You know, we came out with a very unique solution with their help, that you take the pictures, you see night 9 o'clock news, after that you will see the India map and whether they will give satellite, it was that satellite. We used to take those pictures, take their printout at 2 different intervals, and from their corners, we used to find out what errors should be corrected. We will take some like Sri Lanka corner, one in Dubai somewhere, that seashore. We will take from there manually we used to do. International community, wow, what ISRO has saved 450 crore satellite, and we managed it up to 10 full life, 10 year plus. So that is the kind of learning you get. Now, second challenge come. That was the learning. Second challenge come. We have to develop a satellite. They told we were doing it for European Space Agency, Eutelsat. So they told us, okay, develop the autonomy for 48 hours at least. We didn't have earlier that time autonomy. Okay, we are having, some people said, no, it's not possible. Yeah, I said, yes, we will do it. Let us do it. So what we did, we made a list of all the components, what are the data is available, and we developed the autonomous operations for that. And after that, there was the wave. You see, all the satellite people started talking about this, people started developing, and we've seen that fully autonomous missions are coming. Same thing, I was appreciating this bot lab dynamics, a great thing they have done. It's really amazing. I think today they will be doing, that's why I was asking you timing. So what it comes, you have to think about this, jot down all the points, okay, and work for it. Certainly, so many other occasions are there, and failures gives you opportunity to learn. We had a failure, some actuator failed. Simply they will tell, please do something, we are losing revenue for the satellite. Then we will think, that time we didn't have answer. They will say, no problem, till then we will hold in backup mode. Then I am in a launch of another satellite. There we got some idea. Oh, this way we can manage the satellite. Now you see 3 years over, the same satellite is working and earning revenue to the nation. Around 70-80 crore per annum it is earning for that, and whereas we lost all hope. So what my request to all the principals and all the students here is, they should think. If there is a righteousness in the mind, certainly it will get fructified and you will get the fruit of this. There may be many stories, maybe sometime later we can see, but the crux of the matter is that you should think and work for it. Certainly the imagination will transform into the real results. Thank you.
Vinod, I think failures are pillars to success, and I don't think so that anyone should be scared of failing. If you will fail, you will learn. It is just that you just need to get off and get going, get moving. That's the important. I would request all the viewers to start writing their questions if they have anything for the panelists here. In the meantime, we can just, if we can, for the benefit of the audience, let me start with Mrs. Kavita. Mrs. Kavita, if you can just, tell something, that you want like to share with the students, viewers, parents, and educators regarding this amazing coalition on STEM, sustainability, and innovation.
So as everybody's already spoken, STEM is everywhere. As Dr. Hina said about curiosity, questioning, as Dr. Vinod has spoken about motivation and expertise. So I would say that start your daily day with whatever is any one task which you do daily. For example, you're brushing your teeth. Ask a question, how was the toothbrush created? What are the ingredients in your toothpaste? Do a small research and come back and say, now I have used this, how can I make it more eco-friendly? So if you start working on small things, daily things, STEM, you'll start realizing that all your science concepts are already being used everywhere. Also, another thing which is very, very important is when you do research and you have your evidence, then all your decisions are backed by research and evidence. So that's very important with the kind of thinking that you will develop, and you will not be swayed by any kind of talks. So that's all I wish to say.
Thank you, Mrs. Kavita. Dr. Hina, if you can just summarize the key takeaways for the viewers today from this amazing chat that we are having.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, basically, I would say that it cannot be treated as in isolation. One has to have a very integrated approach and design a kind of a program, as I was mentioning that, it could be just free flow of ideas. There should be some kind of an encouragement where questioning is encouraged, a way of curiosity or scientific temperament is built, and children are allowed free space to ask why. And as devise a program like what we have, wings program, or as I said, we have a master program where it starts from investigator to explorer to designers. So something like that, we give them free flow of ideas and opportunity, umpteen opportunities from where they can build on to their passion. And then they will not feel that they have worked for a day, because your passion is your career. And that is how the temperament has to be built. If schools can provide that kind of a platform where questioning is allowed totally, and flipped classrooms could be there, design technology, where design thinking, where empathetic learning is there, because we do talk a lot about imbuing design thinking into the classrooms, into the schools. And like, what is design thinking? We all know that it is empathetic learning, or how can you empathize with every particular situation where the child comes from, ideating and prototyping and testing. If that design thinking could be brought into, and STEM as a career, because see, geology wouldn't be into a software engineer. I mean, you can't change from, if you're a geologist, you won't become a software engineer, right? But the level of thinking, which is the HOTS level, the higher order thinking skills, would be same in both the areas. So that is what we have to encourage children to come to a solution based where, as I said, no box solution. You should not be even thinking out of the box. There's no box, and there are solutions there.
Yeah, so first think about the problems, and there can be many solutions to one
Problems are universal, tackling them is individual. So that
Yeah.
is through quality circle. They can, we have a huge, very good quality circle culture in the school, where they are encouraged to have a discussion, brainstorming on problems, and then devising solutions to that.
True. I think design thinking should not be restricted to students only. It should be given to educators, teachers also, so that how they can conduct their classes well
Very
in
good.
this.
If your cup is filled, then it will overflow. Otherwise, won't.
True, Dr. Hina. Dr. Vinod, interesting stories from your side. So if you can just tell us a little bit more about what do you think about this topic, and how do you think that each one of us, what should be our key takeaway from this particular session?
Yeah, see, STEM is the backbone of next generation. You see, the 5G is coming. I have shared one video, very nice video on my LinkedIn and Facebook profile. That is the robot doing press conference. And with the expression, that is the kind of technology STEM has developed. So when you see the machines have started talking, it's really because of STEM, it's the science. So what you do, as Dr. Hina has rightly said, question. You can be ignorant throughout your life if you don't ask question, and you can be knowledgeable by asking the question. That kind of culture we have to build into our next generation. They should ask everywhere why I am doing this, what I will get, what is my takeaway. So it's really very relevant in the next coming years. And it is the 5G, you see, fifth generation talks about virtual reality, augmented reality, and all these things. These machines, even if it has not come, fourth generation networking has given so much. And Madam was telling industry 4, yes, we are looking forward it. It will not take 10 years. Generally 10 years they bring one standard. It won't take. I think 10 years is too large time to change. It may be very less time where these kind of technologies will come. And because now data is so much, you have to choose proper data and put your energy into that. Very nice topic from skill reforms and very fruitful discussion. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kumar. I think the circumstance tells us, how to innovate well. We can see in pandemic, the innovation which has happened from offline to online within few weeks. So this is how. So we'll take few questions from the audience. I think Dr. Bikramjit Singh has written, in today's world, students are doing homework and projects using information from Google. But when we ask them to explain, they fail. How do you think to tackle this challenge, as everyone is in habit of shortcuts? So, Dr. Vinod, you would like to answer this? I would like to ask Mrs.
Yeah,
Kavita.
no, it's a great question. And this is the reality of today's world. Because what happened, we as a parents or sometimes teacher not able to evaluate it properly. It happens, it's very serious. There can be a garbage also on the internet. So we have to pick right things. That is the duty of teachers and parents. It starts from your home. You have to keep an eye on the children, what he is doing, whether at least it is a resource. Google is a very good resource, but you have to use it. Now also, when I'll find any paper, I will take printout and start marking with a pen, highlighter and all. Other youngsters will say, sir, what happened to you? All the gadgets, everything, why you do that? Yes, that is the difference. So when you take that, you will go through with a proper mind when you have a hard copy, physical form. So very right question and very relevant. We cannot simply pick up from Google and do it. Please evaluate that. Bring to the child knowledge. This is not correct. Evaluate this, verify it. It should not go unverified. That's all my thought.
Thank you, Dr. Vinod.
May I just add, Mr. Chetan, over here, what
Sure,
Dr.
sure,
Vinod has very
Sure.
rightly said. So I believe that we have come from Gurukula to Google. So, again, that was a personalized learning. This is a personalized learning. And the teacher's role becomes very important over here because information is available. Coding can be learned on YouTube. No, you don't need a teacher for that anymore. So, but what to do with that information? So information management is very, very important. And the teacher's role here to what to do with that information which is available at all the places.
Dr. Hina, before going to Mrs. Kavita, I just wanted to know more about this. Mr. Siva is asking a question. Nowadays, classes are going online. How to increase it? Has been going online since last 2 years. How to increase class strength? So this strength problem is a problem in Abu Dhabi also, or it is universal, or is it to do with India only? Strength in the class, as in the students are attending it or not?
Attendance. For us, that is not a problem because I will not be able to empathize or sympathize with that because I can't relate myself to that. For the simple reason that for us, attendance is Ministry of Education over here. That is the regulatory authority over here. So we have an attendance system which we have to mark there as well as in our ERP system of MyGIS as well. So there, and everybody has to be on visual also. It's not only audio, they have to be on video, has to be switched on. So there is no way they can escape over there. And then there are Google Classrooms, there are quizzes, there are Nearpods. So it is not that I'm just lecturing. I am having my Nearpod on. So everybody has to join in there. My quiz is there online. So they have to answer the online quiz. So there is no way to escape there. So I don't.
Yeah.
Let me ask Mrs. Kavita,
Yeah, I will add a sign to Dr. Hina's thing. In fact, it is a management question. But see, there are the ways. There can be a coercive management, punish them. Don't do that. Reward them. Reward them for joining. Reward them for keeping their video on. Have a monitoring system. Make one screen where all are compulsorily asked to switch on their video. Monitor them, and sometime whoever is disturbing some this activity, please don't move. Attendance, attentiveness. So all these things, this can be very easily done because they are getting benefit of not traveling. That's the biggest from the comfort of their house. They are able to get the knowledge, and teachers are there. That's
Yeah,
all it
and,
is.
yeah, and as I said, that quizzes, like for example, online quizzes there. Now you have to participate and you have to answer. So those things could be, used very productively.
Sure. So, Mrs. Kavita, I just wanted to know your thoughts on this, that how are you tackling this challenge of students, getting onto Google, getting the information, and then not asking the relevant questions. They are just challenging the teachers in the classroom. Does it happen that with you also? How to change that habit of students and the problem of strength? Mrs. Kavita.
I guess everybody, initially, obviously, everybody was very happy with online. After some time, some kind of boredom comes in the students because we've had online for a very long period of time. Other countries, they have started a physical. So I'm sure Dr. Hina had this physical this thing, but we've had for around 18 months. So 18 months becomes a very long period for any child to sustain for that way. So we have accepted that. So what we did is we obviously had some kind of internal assessment given to your presence in class also. So that is important. Videos definitely were asked, but when again, bandwidth is a kind of question because when we are using it, when everybody's videos is on, people were experiencing bandwidth problems. So sometimes you ask them to switch it off because they have the kind of issue at home. Also, homes in India, not everybody in Mumbai has a huge space. There is a sometimes the people don't want to switch on the videos because it's not that they don't want to switch on. You have to understand those aspects. We had certain times we visited the homes of the students. We realized that in one room there are four people sitting out there. How do they start the video? So you have to be empathetic in all these kind of circumstances. So we have not pressurized anybody, but at the same time, yes, we have taken kind of vivas. We have taken kind of quizzes. We have done one-to-one. We have after school hours ensured that the students did that one-to-one with the teachers. So this is how we have worked with the students. So looking at all aspects and all factors, we've taken all those things into consideration.
Thank you, Mrs. Kavita.
I will add one small point to say, you can ask them to write, scan, and send it. Handwritten thing, not typed thing. So that is the one, there can be many more things for this. Thank you.
Only one last thing is that make your class so interesting, so beautiful that everybody would love to just come and attend the class.
Correct,
I think that is where the
correct.
teacher's role has to be, drawing the line so bigger,
They can go to rooftop, they can go to park and do all these things. That's great. Thank you.
Rather than only students going on Google, teachers should also go on Google and fill their classes up. Thank you. So I think with the paucity of time, we need to conclude our session here. And truly, the time felt like a pleasant breeze today. We are very grateful to all our panelists, Dr. Vinod, Dr. Hina, Mrs. Kavita, for taking out time to be with us today. Thank you for sharing your valuable thoughts with all of us on this unique and interesting topic. We are sure that it has added a lot of value to our amazing viewers also in terms of understanding the future of coalition of STEM sustainability and innovation. Thanks to all the viewers for joining us today on social media and Facebook platforms and posting their relevant questions and showing their love and support. So we would be sending a small feedback form to all of you. Please do fill in that so that we would, we would get to know about what all topics that you wish to be a part of. Thank you once again, everyone. We will see you soon with next webinar. Till then, take care. Stay
Thank you
healthy.
so much, everybody. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you so much. It was pleasure.
Wonderful,
Thank
wonderful listening to. Thank you,
Namaste.
Dr. Hina,
Namaste.
Dr. Vinod Kumar. Thank you so much.